Alright, hey there viewers. So today I am working on my sister's car, which is a 2015 Acura TLX. Somebody told her that she needed front and rear brakes. And this is where I come in. This thing has about 90,000 kilometers, so I think it's roughly about 50,000 miles, 55,000 miles, roughly. This also has electronic parking brakes, so I brought home my brand new scanner. Right? It's brand new because I haven't even used it yet. I actually was using the loaner for about 2 weeks, and I returned it and decided to trade in my old Solus Edge. So yeah, somebody in the comments was saying, how often do you need to use an aftermarket scanner? I would say I use it quite often because, you know, with only two factory scanners at work, somebody's always using it for either recalls like bearing clearance tests or checks, and software updates, or just somebody just using it as a scanner. So it's always being used. So yeah, it's good to just have a scanner for me to, you know, just as a scanner. So it's also mine, so I can take it home and do whatever I want with it. But yeah, so we also do a lot of used cars at work, and we also got returning customers who, you know, buy used car from us. And yeah, so stuff like that. Cars such as, you know, with electronic parking brake, you need the scanner to do brakes. Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna stick this into maintenance mode and take the calipers apart, and I'm gonna have to take the rotors to work and get them machined. And yeah, so let me hook everything up and I'll bring you back. Alright, so I got the scanner hooked up here. Yeah, I guess electronic parking brake. Super easy to use if you're thinking about getting one. Go to adjustments, brake pad maintenance mode. This function is used to replace rear brake pads. If VTC electronic braking system has been detected, please perform this function. Action takes about 25 seconds. You wish to, yes. And I can hear that. You can hear the rear motors going. And that's it. And yeah, that just shows a bunch of warning lights on the dash. And it says electronic parking brake system has transitioned to pad exchange mode. Perform rear brake parking. Select continue when you are finished with pad maintenance. So I just turn the car off. So yeah, I just go ahead and take the rears apart and yeah, get the pads replaced. All right. So once they're in maintenance mode, you can actually just push the pistons in. They'll just go straight in. You don't have to twist them like you know, with the caliper tool or anything, but yeah, you just wind back and then you can just push them in. And then yeah, they're free to move. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. All right, okay, so let's take these calipers off. It's weird, these Acuras are 13 mil for the bolts. They Loctite it. Alright, so let's see the best way to put you guys like that, maybe. Yeah, so caliper bolts, these are 13 mil. They also Loctite it, you see. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Not gonna. Where's the squealer? Squealer's there. Just for comparison, so they're gonna last a little bit longer. Yeah. So once you get your, you know, 13 mil bolt from the you know, caliper off, and then your caliper brackets are these 17 mil. You can take all that off. There's a Phillips screw there, so you gotta get yourself an impact driver. I'll get my impact driver. rotors off. And there you go, you got the rotors off. Now I'm just gonna do the other side. All right, so I got both my rotors off, and just like that, they are machined. Okay. So one thing you might want to do when you push these pistons back in is you see how these boots are kind of, you know, sticking out. It's because there's an air pocket in there. So what you want to do is, you know, burp them. Or bleed the air out, because if you don't, sometimes you know, if there's air, like say on this side, and the boot's kind of sticking out here, and you go to slide the caliper onto the, you know, pads, they will pinch them. Once they pinch them, they tear a hole in it, and moisture gets in. You corrode the pistons inside, and yeah, basically, you know, next time you need to change your brake pads, you're going to be replacing a caliper too. So yeah, make sure you bleed the air out of the boots after you push the pistons in. So how you do it is, I get a pocket screwdriver, get underneath. Inside there's a groove for that boot to go into. So you just go underneath, and then you just lift up, and it should just let the air out. Not poking a hole. Don't poke a hole in the caliper boot. Just go underneath the boot and just lift it up and let the air out. That way it kind of goes back and recesses back into its like folded state, I guess, and that's how it should look like. So yeah. All right, so once you have your rear brakes all finished and put back together, let's get it out of maintenance mode. It says, did you finish the rear pad maintenance? I go, yes. And you press continue. And you can hear the yeah, so you can hear it wind back in, back off, and then wind back in again. I think that's what it did. Or it wind back in, it touched, and then it backed off. That's what it sounded like. So yeah, normal passenger procedure is complete. So yeah, there you go. Cycle key off and on before continuing. And that's it. So yeah, I use this. We get a lot of Mazda used cars at work, and we do rear brakes that have electronic parking brake. This will tell you how to do it, but it won't do it for you actually. So it's just a bunch of things that you got to do in the car, like, you know, gas pedal to the floor, hold the e-brake switch up, and then key off, key on, and then it'll start doing it. Something like that. But yeah, they're you know, let's, for example, Volkswagen. On Volkswagens, I've actually you can use the scanner, but I've also tried using like a battery and then just touching the pins on the electric motor to wind it one way and then reverse the polarity to wind it back the other way. But make sure you put something in between the piston so it doesn't pop the piston out in case you go the wrong way. So yeah, there are other ways on doing rear e-brakes, but you know, they're not all the same. I haven't tried it on other vehicles, so yeah, but having a scanner really helps. Anyways, I'm going to check the front brakes because the fronts don't look that low. Might need to do it another time. So yeah, maybe a video for next time. But my thoughts on aftermarket brake pads. There are good ones out there and not so great ones out there. In my experience, because I've tried, you know, well, you know, you hear people say, oh yeah, I can get those brake pads for less than 20 bucks. I bet you can, because I see those brake pads on Worldpack and you can get them for less than 20 bucks. But yeah, I've gone through maybe three of them, and they were the same set of pads, and they were always noisy. They always make this grinding noise, no matter what I did. New rotors, machined the rotors, and you know, serviced them, cleaned them, and you know, chamfered the edges. Man, they still make a grinding noise. But they only last me like 30,000 kilometers where one set of OEM pads lasted me like just 70,000, like, yeah, around 70,000 kilometers before I had to change them. But I guess it's still cheaper, you know, after 3 sets of pads, it's still cheaper than one set of OEM brake pads. So yeah. Anyways, I also seen them on a customer's car where they had aftermarket brake pads and they start delaminating from the backing plate, which is kind of scary. So how somebody would be driving on those, you know, because brakes are safety, right? You know, can't stop. Then yeah, you're putting other people in danger. But yeah, anyways, I'll show you the front brakes. They're still about 4 mil. Probably can get away with changing them next time. Plus, I can't get those brake pads. I had to order it through work. So yeah, let me show you. The front looks like they still got like 4 millimeters. Usually you replace it at like 2, so it probably will last her till maybe her next oil change, or I don't know, check it again next time. Yeah, it's a bit of uneven pad wear, because if you look at that side and compared to that side, it's more worn out that side than that side. But yeah, she needs her car back before 5, so it's right now, what time is it? I think it's like 4 o'clock, 4:30. So yeah, maybe next time in a part 2 video. But here's the rear pads. Yeah, not quite on the squealers, but you know, more worn out on the outer pad than the inner pad. You can see, yeah. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Maybe in part 2 of my sister's car.